Good evening, one and all. We welcome you all to the international webinar series on holistic health, well-being, and sustainable development 2026, commemorating Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, nation celebrating 78 years of independence and United Nations Sustainable Development Goals 2015 to 2030 and Viksit Bharat at 2047. As part of awareness and campaigns in collaboration with Sri Holistic Health Foundation India and Sri Research Institute Center for Arts, Sciences and Wellbeing. Before we start our sessions, let's take the blessings of Almighty.
गुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं गुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते शुभं गुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं गुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः
With the blessings of Almighty, we shall continue with today's commemorations and celebrations. Today, on February 4th, we are commemorating International Day of Human Fraternity with the theme for 2026 Dialogue over Division. A culture of peace is set of values, attitudes, traditions, modes of behavior, and ways of life based on respect for life, ending of violence and promotion, and practice of non-violence through education, dialogue, and cooperation. So, full respect for the principles of sovereignty, territorial integrity, and political independence of states, and non intervention in matters which are essentially within the domestic jurisdiction of any state in accordance with the Charter of United Nations and international law. So, full respect and promotion of all human rights and fundamental freedoms, commitment to peaceful settlement of conflicts, efforts to meet the developmental and environmental needs of present and future generations, respect for and promotion of the right of development, respect for and promotion of equal rights and opportunities for women and men, respect for and promotion of the right of everyone to freedom of expression, opinion, and information, adherence to the principles of freedom, justice, democracy, tolerance, solidarity, cooperation, pluralism, cultural diversity, dialogue, and understanding at all levels of society and among nations, and fostered by an enabling nation and international environment conducive to peace. So, February 4th is the International Day of Human Fraternity. It reminds us that we belong to one family, diverse in culture and belief, equal in dignity, stronger when we choose respect over suspicion. At a time of growing tensions and polarization, human fraternity is not only an ideal, it is practical commitment to live together peacefully and to protect the rights and dignity of every person. So this year themes calls on all of us to put dialogue over division. Dialogue does not mean we must agree on everything. It means we must listen with care, speak with responsibility, and recognize each other's humanity, especially when we feel afraid, angry, or uncertain. It also means rejecting discrimination, racism, xenophobia, and hate speech. It means creating spaces, online and offline, where differences can be discussed without turning into harm. We must all remember that human fraternity begins in everyday life, in how we treat neighbors, classmates, colleagues, and strangers, in how we share information, in how we respond to when someone is targeted because of identity or belief. Each of us can help build stronger, more inclusive communities by challenging stereotypes, standing up for dignity and inclusion, learning about other cultures and faith traditions, supporting local efforts that bring people together. Small choices repeated every day can strengthen the bonds that help societies stay peaceful and resilient. Human fraternity for peace and cooperation is grounded in a simple recognition. People of all religions and beliefs make a visible and lasting contribution to humanity. Dialogue among religious and belief communications can deepen understanding and highlight shared values. Promoting awareness of different cultures, religions, and beliefs helps foster tolerance that is rooted in respect, inclusion, and acceptance of diversity, including the fine expression of religious identity. Education plays a vital role in nurturing these principles and in preventing discrimination based on religion or belief. Tolerance, mutual respect, and living well with differences are essential to human fraternity and social harmony, which is why intelligence and intercultural dialogue matter at every level: global, regional, and national and local. Following the devastation of the Second World War, the United Nations was established to save succeeding generations from the scourge of war. One of its purposes is to achieve international cooperation in solving international problems, including by promoting and encouraging respect for human rights and for fundamental freedoms for all without distinction as to race, sex, language, or religion. In 1999, the General Assembly adopted by Resolution 53 by 243 the Declaration and Program of Action on a Culture of Peace, which serves as a universal mandate for the international community, particularly the United Nations system, to provide a culture of peace and nonviolence that benefits all of humanity, including future generations. The declaration came about as a result of long held and cherished concept contained within the consultation of UNESCO that since we began in the minds of men, it is in the minds of men that defenses of peace must be constructed. The declaration embraces the principle that peace is not merely the absence of conflict, but also requires a positive, dynamic, participatory process in which dialogue is encouraged and conflicts are resolved in a spirit of mutual understanding and cooperation. On 20th October 2010, the General Assembly in Resolution 65 by 5 pointed out that mutual understanding and interreligious dialogue constitute important dimensions of a culture of peace and established World Interfaith Harmony Week as a way to promote harmony between all people, regardless of their faith. It is further recognized the imperative need for the dialogue among different faiths and religions to enhance mutual understanding, harmony, and cooperation among people. At the core of all the faith systems and traditions is the recognition that we all are in this together and that we need to love and support one another to live in harmony and peace in an environmentally sustainable world. Our world continues to be beset by conflict and intolerances with a rising number of refugees and internally displaced in a hostile and unwelcoming world around them. We are also unfortunately witnessing messages of hate spreading discord among people. The need for spiritual guidance has never been greater. It's an imperative that we double our efforts to spread message of good neighborliness based on our community, a message shared by all faith traditions. The United Nations General Assembly proclaimed in 4th of February as International Day of Human Fraternity with Resolution 75 by 200. So while using with today is also commemorated as World Cancer Day on February 4th every year across the world. Sooner or later, it seems cancer has an impact on all of us. That is why World Cancer Day on February 4th is an important day to raise awareness about prevention, detection, and treatment, started by the Union for International Cancer Control in 2008. World Cancer Day activities seek to significantly reduce illness and death by cancer by 2020. World Cancer Day is observed worldwide. On February 4th, the aim is to inform and encourage people on its prevention, early detection, and treatment. This initiative was taken by the Union for International Control to campaign and advocate for the targets of the World Cancer Declaration pinned in 2008. So, according to the World Health Organization, cancer is one of the leading causes of death worldwide, and the Union for International Cancer Control (UICC) was established in 1993. Based in Geneva, it is a membership-based society working towards the eradication of cancer around the world and advancing medical research. Under its direction, the first International Cancer Day was celebrated in Geneva, Switzerland in the same year. Several well-known organizers, cancer societies, and treatment centers also supported this initiative. According to the World Health Organization, cancer is one of the leading causes of death worldwide. The Union of International Cancer Control, UICC, was established in 1993 based in Geneva. It's a membership based society working towards the eradication of cancer around the world and advancing medical research. Under its direction, the first International Cancer Day was celebrated in Geneva, Switzerland in the same year, and several well known organizers, cancer societies, and treatment centers have supported this initiative. So, World Cancer Day was made official at the first World Summit Against Cancer in 2000. The event took place in Paris and was attended by members of cancer organizations and prominent government leaders from around the world. A document titled The Charter of Paris Against Cancer, featuring 10 articles, was signed outlining a global commitment to improving the facilitation and quality of life of cancer patients. Advancement and increased investment in researching, preventing, and treating cancer was also highlighted. Article 10 of this charter officially declared World Cancer Day to be observed on February 4. Cancer has numerous types, so there are various colors and symbols used to mark a specific type of cancer and promote the fight against it. For example, the orange ribbon is for creating awareness of cancer in children, while the pink ribbon is globally associated with breast cancer awareness as a symbol of hope for patients and survivors. The daffodil flower is used by the American Cancer Society for the future, where the life-threatening disease no longer exists. On this day, hundreds of events and fundraisers takes place around the world, and each year to bring individuals, communities, and organizations together in hospitals, schools, businesses, markets, community halls, parks, etc., to campaign and deliver the powerful reminder that those hit by cancer are not alone. We all share a responsibility in reducing the global impact of this disease. World Cancer Day is not just limited to medical centers and international organizations. People, local business, corporations, and governments all come together to inform the general public about the types of cancer, how to be aware of it, and the potential treatments and measures to be taken in case of detection. Advertisements and important announcements are made over radio, television, print, and social media. Fundraisers, luncheons, and dinners are held with prominent speakers, often being present at these events. Every year, World Cancer Day is celebrated on 4th February. The purpose of UICC is to support the World Cancer Declaration. The primary purpose of celebrating this day is to reduce the number of cancer patients and to reduce the death rate causing due to it. So, World Cancer Day 2021 is led by the theme I Am and I Will, an empowering call for personal commitment that represents the power of our actions taken now to reduce the growing impact. The Charter of Paris Against Cancer, which was created to promote research, prevent cancer, improve patient services, also included an article establishing the anniversary of the document's official signing as World Cancer Day was signed at the summit by the Director General of UNESCO, Koichiro Matsuura. So join the We Can, I Can support through sport and Thundercap campaigns on social media. For the more adventurous, you can also check out No Hair's Selfie on Facebook or Twitter. Take a moment to reflect on cancer's impact on you and commit to taking positive action, whether it is donating time or money, scheduling a doctor's appointment, or making a healthier choice at mealtime today. So take a moment to connect with your loved ones who have been touched by the big C. So cancer has a staggering death toll. Every year, 9.6 million people die with cancer, and one-third of common cancers are preventable and treatable. So cancer is the second most common cause of death around the world, and 70% of deaths by cancer occur in lower income countries. The total economic cost of cancer annually is around $1.16 trillion. So there is a lot but can be done at an individual, community, and policy level with the right strategies for cancer prevention. Taking the time to understand what you, your family, and your community can do to make a difference can have a huge impact on just one person. For many cancers, there are warning signs and symptoms, and the benefits of early detection are indisputable. As busy as you may be, taking time to get checkup and speak with your doctor can help create awareness and peace of mind. While cancer can be a difficult topic to address, particularly in subculture and settings, dealing with the disease openly can improve outcomes at an individual, community, and policy level. So knowing where to go for help, being part of larger support network can help everyone feel part of the solution. There is also commemorated as World Read Aloud Day on first Wednesday in February that takes place on February 4th this year, which is a day dedicated not just to reading, but to the art and practice of reading aloud. Stories were passed down from generation to generation, even before writing was invented, and oral forms of storytelling were the earliest way of preserving human knowledge, insight, and creativity. This day helps us bring this tradition back to reading while promoting literacy. Today is also commemorated as USO Day in US on February 4th, which is a birthday celebration of American non-profit charitable corporation, the United Service Organization, providing live entertainment and care packages, and much more. The USO is a bridge connecting overseas soldiers to their friends, families, and homes. The USO partnered with the War Department and later with the Department of Defense (DoD) to serve everyone in military life. The troops fighting in World War II were the first to benefit from this organization efforts, and now almost 4.9 million members are impacted by the USO. Today is also commemorated as Torture Abolition Day on February 4th. Every year in the US, it is a day that is dedicated to celebrating the end of the use of torture in society. The torture of people or animals for personal gain or pleasure is simply illegal. Inhuman acts were performed on the people, and for years, people fought to end it. All humans have living things deserve to be treated with respect and dignity. Torture Abolition Day raises to remind people of this and to make sure that the illegal act of torture is not practiced. It is also commemorated as Sweater Day on February 4th as we are getting ready to snuggle into our warmest sweaters on cold days. The warmth and comfort of a sweater feel like a hug. It is even better if sweater is borrowed from a partner's wardrobe, but there is more to this day. Sweater Day aims to encourage everyone to layer and bundle up with sweaters so that thermostats can be turned down. Today is also commemorated as Philippine American War Memorial Day in Philippines, which takes place on February 4th every year. It could be considered a continuation of the Philippines Revolution against Spanish rule during the Philippine and American War, or the Philippine insurrection between 1899 and 1901. But the Philippine-American War ensued between the United States and Filipino revolutionists from 1899 to 1902 when the US finally suppressed the revolt. 1902 marked the financial official end, 1902 marked the official end of the battle, but occasional combat continued for many years. The US kept its authority on the archipelago uninterrupted until 1946, except during World War II. Today is also commemorated as National Thank a Mailman Day in US. On February 4th is a day set aside to give recognition to mailmen across the US. For 6 days of the week and 52 weeks a year, mailmen work hard to deliver letters and documents that are important to you. And they do all that they can do to ensure your mail reaches on time. Imagine driving around town and stopping by hundreds of houses every day. It's not a piece of cake. Well, it is exactly why your mailman needs to be honored at this time of year. Today is also commemorated as National Day of Sri Lanka or Independence Day, which is celebrated on February 4th every year in Sri Lanka. The day commemorates the country's independence from British rule after years of being under colonial dominance. Citizens of Sri Lanka patriotically celebrate their identity and culture on National Day, and the day is marked by a number of events throughout the country, including parades, flag hoisting ceremonies, dances, and performances. Today is also commemorated as National Hemp Day in US, celebrating the wonderful properties of hemp and booming hemp industry, which was started by CBDMD to create awareness about hemp plants and their increasing popularity. Due to hemp classification as a cannabis plant, many people misunderstand its properties and uses. However, the plant has been essential in the progress of innovation of many industries, including textile and construction. Hemp's association with cannabis sativa leads to apprehension and resistance among certain groups of people. The Farm Bill was passed in 2018, making hemp based products more readily available to the public for purchase. These products are as diverse as CBD oil, insulation, plastics, paint, and even biofuels. This is why CBDMD created National Hemp Day on February 4, 2019, to create a positive awareness about hemp and its products and how they can be incorporated into our daily lives. They founded the day to increase coverage of the entire hemp industry. Following the passing of the Farm Bill in 2018, hemp has been officially legalized. In the United States, the only reason it was illegal previously was due to misconception that it was a drug. Hemp is used to create fibers for cloth, cosmetics, ink, detergent, lubricants, oil, and more. It is not to be confused with cannabis or cannabidol. Countless products are made from hemp. These include hemp milk, hemp granola, hemp honey, hemp seeds, shirts, jackets, shoes, and more. Today is also commemorated as Farmers' Day in China and Taiwan, which is basically the farmers' way of welcoming the new year in Taiwan and China, and is celebrated every year between Gregorian dates February 3rd and 5th. With this year's celebration falling on February 4th, which is widely observed in Taiwan, is also known as Lichun, marking the beginning of spring. Farmers' Day is an annual observance in many countries to acknowledge the contributions of farmers and agriculture. Chinese New Year is also celebrated around this time, so it is perfect day to celebrate the beginning of Lichun with special village events, offerings, ceremonies, and prayers to the gods for joyous and prosperous New Year. So before the political divide between mainland China and Taiwan, there used to be a time when there were one country with the same traditions and customs. Despite their political differences, Taiwan and China have exhibited identical history, culture, and traditions. One of their traditions has been farming, which, according to archaeologists, date back to at least 20,000 years ago. The primary occupation of the people used to be farming, and a portion of whatever they produced was collected as taxes. In the rich traditional history of China and Taiwan, the influences of various dynasties exist, their own gods and supreme ones were introduced, And this is a wide belief in the existence of superior powers, incomprehensible to humans, powers that in Chinese tradition, polytheistic religion, are sacred. Hence, the tradition of appearing these gods and asking them for favors in normal day to day endeavors. With the Chinese having their own calendar and a strong system of sticking to their traditions. The farmers developed a ritual of celebrating the arrival of their new year by offering their farm produce to their gods, who would in turn bless them with and their families with prosperities and health. And although today such practices have lost their spiritual touch, people in China and Taiwan, and to lesser extent Korea, continue to uphold and observe these traditions. So farmers have always celebrated these traditions as part of their culture, but for the actual proclamation of this day as a day dedicated to celebrating farmers for their valuable contributions was done in 1941 in the Republic of China. Upon the arrival of every year, farmers exhibit their produce to welcome the new year with an exciting spirit with high hopes. Today is also commemorated as Creative Vacuum Day on 4th February every year in US when the atmospheric pressure in the space is lower than that of surrounding area. A vacuum is created. This dip in pressure requires all matter to be evacuated from the space in question, which is only possible to do in controlled environment. That what we can do instead is create a partial vacuum through all sorts of fun experiments. Other scientists in the 17th century, such as Blaise Pascal, further conducted experiments on vacuum technology and discovered other principles that are widely applied today, such as hydrodynamics. Vacuuming is not only a chance to make your home spotless, but is an opportunity to observe the practical application of vacuum technology. Air pressure varies depending on weather and altitude, creating vacuums at different levels. Outer space is near perfect vacuum devoid of particles. When we breathe air in, our diaphragm drops where a vacuum is created in alveolar, causing the air to rush in. Microprocessor chips built today also use vacuum technology. Many vaccines are produced and transported in a vacuum. Many of us don't realize how much the vacuum is part of our daily lives. However, it has been enabled in the invention of a lot of essentials such as light bulbs and smartphones. It's also used for a variety of applications across the industries today. Even if we are not into science, the way a vacuum is created, intriguing, we can also explore our curiosity by experimenting with its existence ourselves. So vacuum is now synonymous with the vacuum cleaner. If you have been neglecting using handy appliance for a while, create a vacuum day is a great time to get rid of the dust and dirt while using the technology that works on the principle of variations in airspace pressure. There is also commemorated as the US Snow Sculpting Week in US, which is celebrated from February 4th to February 8th this year. With his ability to create a blank canvas of the world is both beautiful and captivating. Some see this as a source of beauty in and of itself, while others see an open space as an opportunity to create something new and fleeting. Every year, US Snow Sculpting Week is held for those who are inspired to create beautiful and complex works of art using the temporary medium of snow. Spring is on the way. But that doesn't mean the splendor of winter has go away just yet. US Snow Sculpting Week will take its place first. The United States Snow Sculpting Week honors a tradition of ice art and beauty. The US National Snow Sculpting competition has kicked off the Winterfest in Lake Geneva. W1 for over 20 years. For 4 days, teams from all over the country whittle and shape their creations from 9-foot tall blocks of snow into 8-foot diameter cylinders. So with this, we shall end today's commemorations and celebrations. We thank everyone for being part of these celebrations and commemorations. See you all tomorrow at the same time with the same joining link. We request everyone to quickly fill the feedback form before leaving the platform. Take care. Good night.